Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, in this video, we are going to learn about Laravel 10 CRUD operation. So where we'll be seeing about insert, fetch, edit and update and delete the record. Okay. So now guys, let's get started. So guys, to begin with Laravel, you have to just install your Laravel application firstly. And so guys, I have just installed my Laravel and I have served the application. So if you don't know to install and serve the application, just go through my playlist of Laravel 10 tutorial where about the installation. And if you want to learn more about login and registration, creating layouts, blade components, and many more things, okay, in detail about migration files, eloquent model and form handling. Okay, so now guys, let's get started. So first step guys, we need to connect our database. So just go to your .env file and here is your db connection, the database name and username root and password is null. Okay, so guys, our database is set up and make sure you have created in your admin dashboard. So I have already created guys. And now let's get back. And first step, guys, we are going to start with creating the migration file. So we will take an example of creating a category table. Okay. So let me just create a new terminal. I mean, open new terminal and create the migration using php artisan command. So php artisan make colon migration create categories table. Okay, hit enter. So it will create a migration file with this name categories table. Okay, so now guys, you can find that in database migration and at the last you'll find that table name as create categories table. Cool. Okay, so now guys, let us add the category fields. So I will add as table the string which is going to be a varchar and category name will be name and then description. And one more thing, if you want to add, you can add the is active part, which is going to be a boolean type. So boolean where is active. Okay, and by default function of 1. And now guys, let's push this table into our database. So for that, you can just enter this command php artisan migrate, hit enter. So it migrates the table. Perfect, it's migrated. And now you can just find that categories inside this databases. So here tables. Okay, so we find this categories table. Perfect, so our table is created guys with these 3 column fields and other 3 fields are timestamp and the id. Okay, so now guys, let's close this migration file and let's create one model. So php artisan make colon model where the model name is going to be category, hit enter. So your model is created. So guys, this model is nothing but it's about connecting your tables, okay, to this Laravel application. So let's close all and go to your app models where category.php. Perfect. So here guys. So now guys, let's call the property called table. So before that, just call the protected $table equal to single quotes and your table name. So we have already the table name. You can just go inside database migration and your migration file and you can find that at schema create, that is your categories table name. So now close it, paste here. Done guys, and now let's again call all the fillables. So fillable is basically nothing but are the table column field names. Okay, so what are those column fields? Like you see here, name, description and is active, and these primary key id and created updated add are not mandatory. Okay, so you can give whatever you have created the column fields. So let me just paste here and let's put them in single quotes and separate them by comma. Done. So guys, our model is set up and now you can close this model and let's create one controller. So php artisan make colon controller where it's going to be a category controller. So category controller, hit enter. So our controller is also created. You can just find that in app http controller where category controller. Perfect. So our controller is created guys. And now guys, let's begin with our form design and form integration part. So let's close everything and go to your routes first and move to web.php. So now guys, you need to create a route. So let me create a route colon colon get method, which is going to be the categories. So this will be our path and then your controller name. So let us call the path of that controller app backslash http backslash controller backslash controller name. So it's category controller, then colon colon class, and give comma, and then in single quotes make sure you are going to that function. So now you need to go to this category controller. Let's move by clicking on it and create one function. So public function where the function name indexed open and close curly brace. So guys, let me just test it. So return here funda. Let's save. And now you can just copy this route and go to your browser. Just call that URL. Perfect. So you can see that funda has been called. Okay. So now guys, let us create the form and call. So yep, let's move back to our controller and let's remove the string and call our view function. So inside this view function, you will call the path of your files. So let me just show you that where you're going to create. Just go inside the resource views, and inside views, you'll be creating your files. Okay, so let's create one folder called category, hit enter, and inside this category, you'll be creating your files. So let me create a file named index.blade.php. So we have created it, and now let us just hello category. And now guys, you need to call that file path. Just call your category folder dot your file index blade file. Okay, so you reach there. Cool. And now guys, if you refresh, you will be able to see that file details here. Done. So now guys, let's begin with the designing part here. So guys, let's extend our layout. So I have already created one layout guys, that is app web layout, which I have linked the bootstrap CSS over here. Okay, so everything is set up here. So if you want to learn how to set up all these, you can just watch out these videos, how to create your layout in component and set up a nav bar. So this is the output it's going to be. Okay, so now guys, let's get back and use this layout in our index blade. So yep, so for that you can just use this x hyphen your app hyphen web hyphen layout and close the file. Done. And now guys, let's see the output for this. Refresh. Perfect. So guys, let me just design this complete form as a table view. So user container row column md12 and a simple card header where a h4 tag mentioning about categories, and here create a tag for add category, and then guys use a class to design this button with the primary and float to end. Okay, after this card header I want to design a card body so we can list all the categories here. And now guys, we have a title option in this app web layout. So you can see that here variable we have used. Just copy this variable and use that. So use a x slot slot open and close, and add a name attribute name equal to your variable name title, and then you can just add the title as categories. So now guys, let's see the output for this. Get back, refresh. Perfect. So you see the title also and your details. Let me just give a space from top, margin top 4 5, refresh. Done. So now guys, let's create the form for inserting the record. So for that, just open and close curly brace, call the URL and mention that I want to use the same URL categories / create. Okay, so we are going to copy this URL and create a route. Again, create a get method route. Oops. So change that and paste, and then use a same controller to create the route. So let me just copy this and paste here. So we have pasted, and now guys change the function name, copy this, create the function name and create a function with the same function name, that is create. And then guys you can again use this same view to create the create blade file. So let's go to the resource views, and inside this category we have the file name as create.blade.php. Okay, and then guys again same layout, extending and title, you can copy this everything same and paste inside that. So we pasted. Let me just change the title, add category, change the heading also, and change this as a back button, and just change the route as categories only. And inside this card body you can start your form design. So what are fields we have already set. Let me just show you inside my model. So app model category.php. So we have three fields: name, description and is active. So get back to your create blade file. And now guys let's start with the form. Tag open and close form, and let me minimize this sidebar. Use a margin bottom 3 and the input. So before input you need a label like name, and you can remove this for, add a name attribute called name, and value, I want the old value, so use a old function of name. So what is this exact name, what you give here you have to paste it. Okay, so guys let's copy this and paste again. So for the description let me use a text area, so description as a label and text area name attribute description, and let's use a class here and design this class as form control. And how many rows, I want only 3 rows, and whatever value comes you can just paste inside this text area. Okay, open and close. Let me copy and paste this. So guys let me copy this class and paste for this input also, so it will look good. Margin bottom 3 again for the checkbox. So you can copy this, paste here, and input type text. Instead of text it's going to be checkbox. Okay, so change this to is active, and name attribute value also is active. Okay, and let's remove this class, and instead of value you have to directly print it. So here we'll be mentioning that if double equal to true, then mention it is checked, else null. That's it, you don't have to do anything. And now guys let's create a submit button, save or submit, and this button type it's going to be a submit. And let's design this button with the help of bootstrap classes, button primary. And now guys once you click save button, it's take all the input field names and goes to the form action with the method post, and it also accepts a CSRF token. So in Laravel the CSRF is mandatory. Okay, so guys once the save button is clicked you are going to an action. So where does it go? So let's give a route to go to a specific route. Okay, so you can use a URL method to call the route. So what I want to do, I want to use the same URL what we are going to it. Let me copy and paste here. Where is our create blade? Okay, paste it. And now let me show you the output of it. Refresh once, click add category. So here category / create, and here is your form. Cool. Let's go back to our web.php and create a route post method, and same route. Okay, exact same route. And then guys we need to go to a controller where we can save the data. So let's go to the same controller, that is our category controller, and go to different function. So we are going to create a store function. So let's move to our category controller I think we are missing something. Okay, here is typo, double colon you have to give, and then it works fine. So get back to your controller again. Let's create a function. The function name is store, and once if it is coming from the post request, you are getting a request, right? So you have to call the request $request. Okay, now you get all the input field values inside this $variable request. And now guys, let us validate all the input fields. So guys, there are many ways to validate the input fields. Let me just show you here. You can go to this form handling and validation tutorial. So I have taught many ways of validation in Laravel. Okay, so yep guys, let me just do a quick validation here. $request of validate function. Oops, validate function and array. So inside this array, just create your name, that is input name. Okay, request of name, which is coming from your name, then description and is active. So name, which is going to be a required field, and then it's max 255. What is this max 255? It is length of that. Let me just show you in the database structure. Here you see that name varchar of 255 it is given. So description also is 255. So you can just validate according to it. And then guys, use the description arrow. Again, you can say use the validation part. So yep, and it is going to be a string. So here also you can add it is going to be a string. And the next is active. Just give comma here. Is active is about true and false. So sometimes you'll give the check, else it is going to be. So let's add only sometimes here. So it will accept. Okay, and now guys, let us use our category model to save the data. Let's use the category model colon colon create method. Okay, so import this category class guys first. So here it's imported, and this is the app model and then category. So that is the category model. Okay, let me just show you here. So this is my app model, that is category.php. So we are importing it. And also if you want to know how this import class has come, just install the extension about PHP namespace. Okay, yep. And now guys, use this create method to insert the data. So first, column name inside your table column name and your request of name, your input name. Okay, let's copy and paste. So this is my description and this is the column name inside the category model. So let me just show you. This is very important guys, you have to give this. If you don't give this, it is not going to save because you are using a create method here. Okay, so if you are using in this way to save the data, you have to give this fillable. So don't forget to give this fillable values. Let's get back to our controller and continue with the is active. So is active is double equal to true question mark here and except one, else zero, which is true or false. So let me copy and paste the column name is active. Done. So once it is created, let's tell return and redirect back. So you can use either back function to redirect, or you can specify the route where you want to redirect back. So I just want to redirect here on this route itself. So I know the path, I give it directly. And I also want to show the message that it is created. So use the status and add category created. Okay. And now guys, let's copy this and just go to this redirect back where it's going on create file. So you can just go back again and show the success message at here. Let me use a if condition and use a session function and status. So it will just display the data. Let me use a div open and close curly brace and print that and make this div as alert success. Okay, and now guys, coming to this validation, what about this validation details? So you can just copy each of the field name and just show below them. Use at error of name. So this is description. Let me show a name and use a span tag to design the text here, text danger, and open and close curly brace, add a dollar message. That's it, guys. Now copy this, paste again, and just change the error of name, that is description, and coming to is active, just change this to is active. Done. Now you can get back to your controller and everything is set. So you can get back, refresh, and let's click to save without field. So here you see name field is required, description is required. Cool. So now guys, let me add a category like mobile. So mobile description, and let's click to save. So category added, you got the message. Let's go to our database, browse, and here you see we have inserted the record. Perfect. So now guys, let me insert one more category like laptop. So laptop description, and let me make it to is active, save, and you see that we have one value also. Okay, perfect. Everything is set, guys. And now let's go back to our categories. So we are here, and now we are going to loop these details into this categories page. So get back. So first step, we'll go to the web.php, which is on this categories. Let's go to routes, web.php, and here is our get method of categories. It goes to the index function. Let's move to that controller at index function. So we are here on this page, we have to pass the data. So guys, let's create one variable as categories equal to get your category model, eloquent model, and use a get method to get all the data. So guys, you get all the details here. Let me just return and show you. So instead of form, it is going to return this variable details. Let's refresh now. Here you see we have two records. Awesome. So now guys, let us use this variable to push inside this form. So you can use a compact function without dollar symbol. Okay, just use the same variable name so you can access inside this file. So let's go to this file, category index.blade.php, and we have a card body here. So inside this card body, I'm just going to directly press that variable dollar categories, and now you'll be able to see all the data in one array. So now let me minimize and just create a table format, guys. So let's begin with the HTML table here, and bootstrap classes table bordered as typo here, table striped, and then table head, table row, table heading, th. First is ID, then name. We have a description, and then is active, and finally one action button for edit and delete. Okay, and then guys, use a table body, that is t body. Oops, I missed the table here. Okay, and now let's use a for each. So you can utilize this variable categories here. Let's control X, and these are the items. And now use a table row. So each row it's going to loop table data. The first value is dollar item of ID. So why ID? Because we are getting the ID here, and then name, then description, and then is active, and then finally one TD for edit and delete. So let's make it edit and delete. And now guys, let's see the output for it. So yep, get back, refresh. Cool. So we see that we have fetched the data. So now guys, instead of showing 0 and 1, you can use another way. So just break this down and use a if condition and else. So is active is about true or false. So if it is true, it is going to show active, else inactive. Okay, that's it. Now refresh, done. So now guys, we have done with the adding the data and we have listed the data. And now let's begin with the edit and delete the data. So first we'll start with edit. So let's create a route here first on this edit button. Let me design this edit button guys using bootstrap class of button as success mx2, and in this href let's create a URL with the same route format, which is going to be the categories. So copy that, paste here, forward slash, then ID and forward slash, and then edit. So in between you have to concatenate your dollar item of ID. So let's copy this and paste here. So we pasted, done. And now guys, you can get back, refresh. So let's click on this edit button. Here you see we found a URL, categories, then ID, and then edit. Okay, so let's copy this and get back to your web.php. So let's create a route using get method to call the form on this edit. So let's paste here, and instead of one, you are going to get dynamic data. So you can mention that as ID over here. And then guys, you are going to target at one controller. So let me copy the same controller path here. Let's copy and paste, and you need to change the function name, edit. So now you can copy this edit and go to your category controller and create one new function as public function, the function name edit, open and close curly braces. So guys, first step, when you're coming to this route, you are getting a parameter value that is ID. So you need to get that int of ID. And with this help of ID, you're going to get the category. So let's create one category variable equal to call your model category colon use find function to find the data. Okay, so guys, there are many ways to get the data like find and find or fail. So this has different things to do, like if you use find or fail, if you don't find the ID, it is going to show 4 not 4, or you can use a where condition or where ID. You have many ways to do. So I prefer doing find or fail, like if the ID is found, just show the data, else just show 4 not 4. So I'll be showing you that. Let's use $id here. So if we find the data, then it's going to return the exact value. Let me just return and show you the value. Okay, so yep, let's get back. Now if you refresh, you have the ID1 inside your database, so it's showing the ID1, and we don't have ID3. So let me just give here, it shows 404 not found. If you find for ID2, you have the data. Cool. So this is how our find or fail works. Okay, so if you just use this find function and you do that here for ID3, it's going to give an error. Okay, so here you don't have any data, it's showing just a white page. And if you just try to access this in your view file, okay, in your blade file, then you might get an error like you are trying to access some variable without any data. Okay, so guys, let's continue with showing in the blade file. So yep, let's comment this and just return view, and you need to go to your category folder and create one edit blade file. So let's go to our resource views and category. So inside the category you have to create a edit blade file. So guys, we are not going to create a new file, instead we'll copy this create blade and copy and paste. And now guys, let's rename this file. So just press F2 and rename the file editblade.php, hit enter. So guys, our file is created, and now let's change the titles according to it. So instead of add, let's make it to edit. So here edit category, and then guys, let us first get the data inside the input fields. So for that, let's move to our controller, and this is the variable you have to pass inside your view edit file. Okay, so let's use a compact function to pass the variable. Okay, so we have got the variable here category, and get to your edit, and inside the each input field you have a value attribute. So inside that value, let's remove this old and paste that variable category of name. Okay, so you have to use like this. Let me just remove for the text area and add the description, and for the checkbox also. So here we are checking with the other data hold, and instead of that, category of is active. That's it, guys. And now change the text here as update, and let's see the output first, and then we'll see about submitting the data. Refresh. Cool. So you see that we have got the details here. And now guys, I will try to access the ID number 3, which is not there inside our record. So here you see you're getting a error like attempt to read a property name or null. So we don't have ID3 value. So we are accessing that variable here. So it's not able to read. So this was the error if you use find. So instead of find, I use find or fail. So which it returns directly 4 not 4. Okay, refresh, it just gives 4 not 4. And if you have the correct value id1, it gives the value. Cool. So now guys, let's get back and let's work on submit of update. Go to your editblade.php. Let me close this so it will be more spacious. Okay, so once you click on this update button, it goes to the form action. So let us just copy this dollar category of name and concatenate here like dot and pass that ID. So category of ID. So let's change the route also, guys. Let's remove this create and just go add the end dot and single quotes, use forward slash and edit. And now guys, you need to use this form submit using a put method. So once you submit this form, this method should be accepted as put. So you can use an option called at method, which is I'm accepting a route as put. Okay, so let's copy this path, guys, and the route is going to be put. Let's go to our web.php, create a route, and its method is put. Okay, and paste the route. So here you are passing a dynamic ID. Let's remove this concatenation and variables and just tell, yeah, dynamic ID is going to come, and then send your to your controller. So let me copy from above and paste here, and let's make it to update. So guys, let's copy this and go to your category controller and create one new function named as update. So yep, let's create one function. Public function name is update, and open and close curly brace. We will take all the request, dollar request, and then your ID. So ID, and which is coming in an int format. So now guys, let's do a validation and update the record. So let me copy from above so we can save time. Let's copy everything and paste here on the update method. So first step, you're doing the validation. So no changes in the validation, and coming to this category of create. So instead of create, you are going to use update. Okay. So before update, you have to tell like what column you're going to update. So you can use again the same format, find or fail method, and then update that record. So now what is the find or fail value? It's going to be ID. So here you will tell like just find this ID and then update that particular records. And then you can return and redirect back to which page? You can just redirect to the same page. So just use this back function. So from wherever you submit the form, it just redirects back there only. So you don't have to worry about this. Just let's test it. Refresh. So I'm going to update the mobile description as let's add some dummy record here and click to update. So here you see category updated and the value is also updated. Let me just show you here in description. Cool. So guys, our category is updated, and let's check here and update. So okay, identify constant as checked. So we just need to give in a single quotes, guys. I have just missed that, so it's not able to understand what it is. So you can just get back and go to your edit blade and just mention that in a single quotes. That's it. Now get back, refresh, everything works fine. So here you see it's 0. Let me refresh. It is going to be 1. Cool. So by default it is checked. Okay. So now guys, we have done with the edit and update the data, and now let's get back and start with the delete option. So yep, let's move back to our index blade.php where is our delete button. So now guys, let me just design this delete button danger and mx1. So refresh. Perfect, looks cool. And now guys, you need to create a URL for the deleting the data. Okay. So guys, you have many methods to delete the record. Like you can use a delete method to delete the data or get method to delete the data. So right now I'm just going to teach you using a get method itself. Let me copy this and paste here and just change this route to delete. Okay. So using this ID, I'm going to delete the record. So let's copy this route URL and create one new route using get method. So route colon colon get semicolon and paste your route. So here we are going to get the dynamic IDs. So mention that ID and then go to a particular function at a controller. So let's target to that controller at a destroy function. So let's copy this and create a destroy function. So create a function, public function, the function name destroy, open and close curly brace. So on that click, we are just getting a ID parameter. Okay, so just get that like int of $ID I'm getting, and then category model colon colon, just find the data, or you can use find or fail function. First you find the record. If it is found, then you're going to delete that. So let's use $category, and with this help of category, use a delete function. Okay, so this is the main key, guys, to delete the record. Once deleted, you can redirect back. Okay, so your utility category deleted. That's it. And now guys, let's get back and refresh. So let me add one dummy record, ast, let's save. Okay, go back. So here you see our category is added, and now let's click to delete. So click here, delete. Perfect, it deleted, guys. Okay, so you have no record, and if you want to confirm and delete, you can just do that option also. Let's go to that index blade file and just add a simple JavaScript here. Let me break it down so it will be more clear to understand. So this is my a tag end here. Okay, and inside this just add on click return confirm function. Just add are you sure question mark. That's it, and refresh. So let me add one dummy record, submit, go back. Let's click on delete. So here you see are you sure, it is asking cancel, it's not going to delete. If you say okay, then it will delete that record. Perfect. So guys, we have successfully seen about how to create a CRUD application in Laravel 10. Okay, so guys, in this video that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like and share.